What's up, YouTube? It's your boy JB, aka the King of Soul, and today we got some Jordan 1s to look at. The Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG. Now this time it is a three-way collaboration. So you have Jordan Brand, Bethy's Beauty Supply, and Union LA. They're actually calling this the summer of '96. Before we get into the review, do me a favor, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel. If you do dig the content, also hit that share button. Now these videos that we do on this channel are strictly for review purposes, so if you do have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to leave those down below. But without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into the review. Now, this should actually go without saying, there's a lot actually going on with this particular sneaker. And again, it's a three-way collaboration. So like, there are, the actual release is actually supposed to tell like a story, and it's actually supposed to be, I guess like, kind of like a commemoration of like, the owner of Union LA, he and his wife, who is the owner of Bethy's Beauty Supply. This is supposed to be like, something to kind of commemorate like, their actual relationship. So like, from my understanding, like they actually have met like in New York, which is why you do have like, throughout the box, there's like, some images that looks like, it's from like, within like an urban community. Cause you do have like, this apartment complex here. There's like a basketball rim, a basketball court and everything. And there's a fence here. On the side, you do have like the logo of the Bethy's Beauty Supply. On this side, you do have the Union logo. But on the very top, you do have Jordan Jumpman logo, Bethy's Beauty Supply, Union LA, and then I guess it's supposed to be like an equation to, be the summer of '96. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get to the review. Now there's a 360 of the box, there's the top again, and then there's the bottom for, those who care about that. Now the box label, the colorway does read Union Jordan Air Jordan 1 High OG, woven white and gray. So when you open the box, you are met with like, this yellowish gold color here. Over at the top, you do have like, the three logos. I'm trying to get that in the camera. So you do have the Union LA, the Jordan Jumpman, Bethy's Beauty Supply, and again the '96. When you open the box, you are met like with this, it's like a thin wax like paper, and it does have like, that apartment complex, and it has like Air Jordan going across from this white text, but it is like double wrapped. So like, you do have like your standard white tissue paper on the inside. So like when you do open the actual box, like you do actually, you are met with this sneaker. And like if you do recall, a few years back, we actually had a Jordan and Union LA collaboration a few years back. And this sneaker actually does kind of have like some hits on the sneaker that actually does, kind of, I guess like, what's the word I don't want to use? Like basically they're just kind of just going back, just making it like, kind of consistent with the previous collaboration that they had did with Jordan Brand. Extra lace option, I'll get into that a little bit later. But there you go, Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG. So again, this is summer '96. So it's a lot of them, it's a lot going on with this actual sneaker. Now for the most part, it does look what you would consider standard Air Jordan 1 Retro High. But this time you are met with like the biggest thing is this woven material. To me, it kind of reminds me of like, like a baseball glove. Now for the most part, I like the sneaker. It's one of those things where like, it's kind of unique. I mean, it is something different than what we come to expect with like, an Air Jordan 1. There is a lot going on with the materials on this one here. I'm not actually like a materials guy, but I'm actually going ahead and try to get this review the best way that I possibly can. But even to this day, like when photos started to surface on regarding this release, Even to this day, like you kind of hear people say it, either they love it or hate it. A lot of mixed emotions and mixed opinions about this actual release here, but at the end of the day, I feel like they kind of knocked this one out the park. Because I mean, for the most part, like if you, to be honest, I mean, I'm not gonna say like it's a hard sneaker to get off. Like, I mean, if you actually get like the right outfits, this is gonna look nice. You know what I'm saying? Like some khakis, cargos, chinos, things like that. I mean, you really don't have to do too much, but at the end of the day, like I thought it was like, you know, a pretty dope sneaker. But you are met with like your Wings logo, and they do have like, you know, this portion of the sneaker here in leather. The back heel is also in leather. Pretty much like the entire upper is constructed with like this leather material, but they do have like this hits of sway, and then like over here you got like this nubuck material for the most part. Like, but just like any other Air Jordan 1, you do have like the Nike swoosh. And that's in this little gray tone here. You do have the Union LA logo tag, just like with the other Air Jordan 1 Union releases. Now you do have like this greenish teal stitching going across the back heel, going toward the medial side of the actual sneaker. I felt like that was a pretty decent touch, just to kind of give it like some kind of color, to add like a little contrast to the actual sneaker. The woven material, now I think like this is arguably the most I would say like talked about feature on this actual sneaker. Now I actually did try the sneaker because I was I tried the sneaker on prior to doing the actual release review, because I wanted to know like if it would be like any discomfort or anything like that. But from the inside of the sneaker, you don't even feel that. But you do have that woven material going across like the toe box area, actually going across like the back of the heel and everything like that too. Going towards the front of the sneaker, you do have more of that, and it does feel like this is like, you know, some premium leather here. Nice thick cuts, pretty much consistent. You have like that sail colored leather going across the sneaker itself. The shoe does come with these, so like it does come with these. It's like it starts off as white and then it kind of goes to gray. I really didn't notice that. I felt like that was a pretty dope touch, because again, they had did that with the other Air Jordan 1 Union collaborated sneakers. So like I kind of felt like that was dope to kind of keep that going. Sail for like, you know, the tongue of the sneaker, and it does have that nylon mesh material that we kind of see like almost Air Jordan 1s. Now, one thing that's a little bit different, when you go across the tongue of the sneaker, you actually have like, you know, this exposed foam material. I felt like that was a nice touch to be kind of different. Now, personally, I feel like over time it'll start to oxidize and start to look, you know, to yellow. So like at the end of the day, I'm kind of curious how that'll look over time. But up at the top, you do have that Nike tab in gray, and it does have Nike Air in white there. Going across the medial side of the sneaker, pretty much consistent with the other side. So you do have your gray Nike swoosh, and then like the most noticeable feature on this side would be that teal green stitching going across the back of the heel itself. You have more of that woven material going across like the toe box area and everything like that too. Going toward the back of the sneaker, this is pretty much like, you know, something that's a little bit different. But they do have like this little back tab here on all Air Jordan 1s, but this time they have BBS stitched in cursive, which is supposed to symbolize Bethy's Beauty Supplies, an acronym. And again, you got more of that woven material, pretty much like what you would expect from any other Air Jordan 1 at the bottom. So you do have that standard Air Jordan 1 bottom. This time they actually gave it to us in like, you know, that cream vanilla sail color down at the bottom. So pretty much, man, like pretty solid release in my opinion. Like I said, I thought it was a pretty dope release. I don't know, like, I mean, people just, I don't know, anytime it's something new or unique, if Jordan Brand decides to do something different with their releases, people tend to have mixed feelings about it. Anytime like Jordan Brand does anything different, it could be a reimagined Jordan 3 something like that, the Jordan 1s, when they were talking about the cracked leather and everything, anytime they do something different from the norm, there's always going to be some kind of controversy around it. But like this one for me, if I was to give this a ranking out of 10, I would give it like a 9 out of 10, just because at the end of the day, like I said, I just feel like it is one of those releases where I feel like it is like a lot going on. Me personally, sometimes like less is more. I do feel like it's a lot going on with the sneaker. It's not a deal breaker for me, but like sometimes when you have too much going on with a sneaker, it makes it kind of hard to, you know, get off. But with this one, like I said, because of like the colors, you kind of got like those earth tones in there. I feel like you'll be able to piece this together with like, you know, a couple different outfits. It wouldn't be hard. You just got to put the work in. Like this is not one of those sneakers where I feel like you would just be able to throw this on with anything. You definitely got to get the right fit to make this work. So the sneaker does come with this second lace option, and it is like, you know, in these goldish yellow flat laces. So like, yeah, if you wanted to kind of like, you know, swap this out, I mean, me personally, I think the stock laces were a nice touch. And then one thing I'm also noticing as I'm like looking at the shoe overhead on the tongue of the sneaker, and I'm gonna try to get that, they do have that green teal stitching going across the tongue of the sneaker as well. So yeah, man, I feel like it was pretty well thought out. I don't really feel like it was a bad release or anything. Like, people just, to me, like I said, anytime you get something different, they're gonna always complain about it. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a 9 out of 10. I don't feel like it was anything that they could have did differently. It's just a 9 out of 10. Everything's not gonna be a 10 out of 10 that Jordan Brand gives us. But nevertheless, I mean, I do appreciate you guys taking the time to, you know, check in with me and, you know, tap in like always. Always remember, you could always stay engaged with me. I'm on everything: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Everything is at the King of Soul. But before we get up out of here, I'm gonna go ahead and give you a good 360 of the sneaker, and then I'm gonna do a B rolling on foot like always. So there's the front of the actual sneaker. There's the lateral side of the right, lateral side of the left sneaker. There's the bottom. Standard Air Jordan 1 bottom. Is just that this time, like I said, it's just in that cream vanilla sail color. There's your medial side. And then of course it's an Air Jordan 1, so they do give us that hourglass back. So yeah, man, there it is. Air Jordan 1 Union, Beverly's Beauty Supply, summer of '96. Yeah, man, if you guys have any questions or comments, or if you want like any information on how you could obtain these sneakers, definitely feel free to reach out. But until next time, see you.